And it looks like I'm recording. So, at the time that I am recording this, it is just around 4:30, and that was very purposeful today because um 4 years ago today, I will never forget this day. I always remember partly because it was a holiday, but I was waking up from a nap and wasn't feeling good and was like, oh crap, my UTI that I had just had the month before is back. And it's like 4:35-ish, and I remember saying, oh, I can't get to the doctor now. I'm just going to go to urgent care in the morning. And then by 8 a.m. in the morning, I had to go to the emergency room. And that is when the whole kidney stone, septic, almost died. Kidney stones came back, had surgery. That whole year was just a year of me being sick, and anyone that knew me listened to me whine about being sick. So today I was off and I was thinking, and I'm like, you know what? I should make a video because it's very weird how things, traumas or whatever happen in your life and when they kind of come back around. And I have found this last 6 months, that whole year, almost dying and all the things that came with it have really been on my mind for a bunch of reasons. But before we get into that, I do want to just say, if you notice, I am actually in a different place in my basement. There's a wrestling guy back there. I'm actually sitting down because I got a whole bunch of shit in front of me. And sitting down is not actually great for me, which ties into the whole reason of this. So I was 47 when I got sick, and now I'm 51. And I am like a crippled old lady. Kid you not. Now, something I had to come to terms with this illness of mine was that I'm just never going to be the same. I will never be the same. And if you know me, it was such a hard pill to swallow. Now, granted, there are things I should be doing that I'm not. I am the heaviest I've ever been in my life. I live in this. My hair, I don't think I've cut it in over a year. And I now am on high blood pressure medication. And I got a funny feeling when I go have my physical in a couple months, there's going to be more stuff that might come back. And I now am having huge hip problems. And now I have bursitis in my left hip. And if you don't know what that is, it's like a fluid sac. It's like right here. It is so fucking painful. It's one of those pains you can't get comfortable. Part of it is I sit all day. I sit on friggin' Zoom calls all day long. I work from home. But guess what? I have a treadmill in my office, a little mini one that I could walk on. So again, I'm not doing myself any favors. I don't have the energy that I had before. Now, I have more energy than I did that year, but I just don't. I can't right now because of my hip. I can't even go grocery shopping. And then there's also this other layer. So physically, my health hasn't been great. Now, granted, I am okay. I know that it could be so much worse, but when I can't even go do simple things like grocery shop or walk up and down a flight of stairs and then have to sit down because my hip is killing me and I'm out of breath. When I fought to live at 47, if I knew this is what 51 would look like, I wouldn't have believed it, especially not me. And there's also this other piece that after that year, and I was just they said a year for healing, and that didn't really start for me until December when I had surgery, when the kidney stones decided to come back and they actually cut into my kidney and clean them out. So January 1st was the start of the clock. And I was starting to feel better, and I was really trying to embrace I got a second chance at life. What am I going to do? Why aren't you doing stuff with your spirituality? That's what makes you happy. I was starting to do collaborations and all this stuff. And then about April, something happened that just rocked my world. Flipped it upside down, and everything I thought I knew, I did not. And now that's been going on for over 2 years. and the toll that is taken on me mentally, physically, spiritually. I'm like a recluse. It's so hard for me to even leave my house. It's like work. Like I have to almost like make myself. And I never used to be like that. Like whatever happened, it just shattered everything that I am. And I just been reflecting a lot, like I got the second chance at life. And what am I doing? I'm sitting in my house on my laptop looking at nothing, watching YouTube videos. Like, something's got to give, something's got to change. So, and this year too is the first year. So my mom passed away in January on 20th, 2018. And I always do something for her around that date. And this year it came and went, and it wasn't even on my radar. And that was very strange for me. And I was like, I am so just disconnected from the life going on around me. So I know I'm kind of like babbling a lot, but so that's just, I don't know. I kind of felt like I needed to do something today. Maybe trying to do a restart. Who knows? And of course I saged and did all the things, and I had a couple card decks, and I had 3 in front of me, and I was trying to decide which one I would pull from, because I'm like, I just try to be positive. And I went to my self-care deck. Now, I'm sure many people have heard me tell the story. The whole reason why I bought this deck, besides that it's self-care, is that the girl's name is Jill. Yeah, that's how shallow I am. And I opened the deck. I flipped it over, and I knew it was the card I was supposed to see. And I decided to not pull another one. And it's to take a walk. Self-care. I need to move this body of mine that is breaking, even if it's painful. I just need to go back to the orthopedic, get another cortisone shot. I need to eat better. I need to sleep. I mean, I cannot tell you the last time. I think maybe I could count on one hand this past year that I got a good night's sleep, just to have a good night's sleep, not just a crash because I'm so exhausted. Because sleep has been really hard, because that's when my mind gets quiet. And that's when the pain comes in. And who wants to feel that? So I haven't been sleeping right. Work is crazy. It's just like all the things. But when I see this card for her to take a walk, she's in a purple dress. To me, that's healing, right? And it's, you know, it's kind of cool because like there's seagulls in the background, and I live by the ocean, but she's by herself. And for me, that really shows like I do need to go out and move. I need to go touch grass. I need to get myself grounded, or else I'm never. This will be me for the rest of my life. And I just can't do that. I don't want to do that. I mean, it's, you know, change is hard. So I've gotten very comfortable. But I miss my friends. I miss who I used to be. And I don't know, I guess I'm just, this, you know, you're listening to me ramble. This is just me putting it out there, trying to find a way to get back to myself. But reason why I brought up my mother. So I am not a crafty person. If anyone knows me, like the Italian jeans that my grandmother knit and my aunt knits, and they sew and they make beautiful stuff. For some reason, it all just skipped me. Who knows? And every once in a while, I try at something. And I went through this phase a bunch of years ago where I was trying to make these bracelets. And I have like all these like leftover things. But I have from my mom. My mom was a Harley girl. So I have all her Harley Davidson pins. And this is not even all of them. I still actually have more. And I pinned this on this scarf because I got it as a present, and it's not really my color. But I'm, you know, repurposing it. It usually is in the back. I don't know if anyone's ever even noticed it was there. So I ordered this thing off of Amazon today. It is like for pins. So I'm going to try to be creative and do something. And I'm going to try to work in, like, you know, you hear me talk about the St. Peter Fiesta. Got a pin. I got some other things from my relatives. And this thing, I did this shadow box, I don't know, like ages ago, and I never hung it up. And now things are moving, so I'm actually going to take things out and I'm going to try to maybe incorporate it. I don't know, I'm trying to do something. Do anything besides sit on my couch and eat chocolate and ice cream sandwiches. I kid you not. And I was even tempted, like, to not even post this on YouTube. I was actually just gonna maybe do it on Facebook, but I probably will. I'm just definitely not gonna post it on TikTok. So yeah, I just, I guess I just wanted to come on and say, like, I can't believe, for one thing, it's been 4 years. And, some of the residuals that have hung around, like, the high blood pressure, I lost a ton of muscle mass in my legs. I've never gotten the strength back, but I have to take ownership because I could have been doing more to help myself with that, and I haven't. And it just, I was thinking about it today. I was like kind of reflecting, like when I was in my 30s, I worked out, right? And when I was turning 40, I was like kind of freaking out, whatever, turning 40. And then I remember having this moment of, if you had told 23-year-old me that at 40, this is what my life would look like, and I would have never believed you. And I kind of put, like, I kind of wasn't feeling so bad about it. And of course, didn't I find, like, my first gray hair, kid you not, 2 days after my birthday. But anyways, so I felt like I went into my 40s with, like, a good attitude, ready. They say your 40s and 50s are supposed to be great. And I will say my 40s were up and down. I lost my mom when I was 42. But the positive that came out of that is how I found spirituality. And then at 47 is when I almost died. I had a big career change. And at 49, I also had my whole world turned upside down. And, I'm already like, I can't believe I'm already 51. And nothing has changed since I turned 50. And nothing's going to change unless I do it. So here I am, trying to do it. And I am going to wrap this up. For one thing, I didn't want it to be too long, and I can't sit on the floor too long because it's going to start to kill my hip because I am like driving Miss Daisy. So I did have another card deck, 2 more card decks in front of me. I always have a couple hanging around. And, one of them is my, healing your inner child. And I have a lot that needs healing. And I always feel like when you have a lot of healing to do, you usually need to start with your inner child. But I think I'm going to go with my vibes. Because you know what? Like my friend Tiara says, this year, it is all about the vibes. So I'm going to pull from Trust Your Vibe deck. Good vibrations. Again, card on the back, but I'm going to see what else I get. Ooh, very cool. All right, good vibrations. So what do we go into 2026? Nothing but good vibrations. We're gonna just, just try to have, as we say, it's all, me and my friend Tiara say all the time, it's just all about vibes. And I'm really gonna try to do that. And they're like dancing and they're all like having fun. And the next card I got was work with your healers. And now, this resonates a lot for me because part of the reason why I haven't been doing a lot of my spirituality work and stuff is because this space down here, that in 2018 when I started doing my first very beginner class and all that, this is the space I did it all in. And I did some of it outside too at one time, but all that energy over the years has turned down here. Even when it's like Christmas time and it's a mess, this space with the energy that I've put out in here, when I'm down here, I can't run from the truth. I can't, it's, this is a space for healing and for messages and what you need to hear. And I didn't want to hear what I needed to hear. I've barely been down here. And this was always where I would come to gas. This is where I would go when I just needed a break. And I have not been down here since after Christmas, then I, put all the Christmas stuff away and put my cards back out. I haven't been coming down here, and I need to, because this is where I work with my healers. This is where I meditate. This is where I do all that work. And I know to get through this, and if I'm going to do better, I need to work with my healers. And we all have healers, and they come in all different shapes, forms, sizes. Whatever healing means to you, whether that's the ocean, it's nature, it's talking to nobody, it's talking to someone, whoever helps you to get through stuff, that is who you should be working out with. That's who you should be working with to keep those vibes going, because this year, 2026, has to be the year of change. All right, I have been just babbling now, so I'm just going to end it here. We'll see. But love you guys all so much. Until next time.